Welcome, everyone. We have Tyler Lynch with us today to give us some of his story and background and help us hear some of the trials and tribulations he's been through as a business owner and entrepreneur. So, we will be asking him some questions. Looking forward to hearing what Tyler has to say and can tell us about his company, Total LLC. He can give us the details, which is one of the first things I'll ask him. But how you doing this morning, Tyler?
Doing great, Sean. Doing great. Feeling fantastic, feeling loose and just ready to speak the truth, ready to tell you what it's about, all about it.
Ooh, love it. Love it. Tell me more. That's what I say. Good stuff. Yeah, that's what we want to hear is the truth. We want to know what's going on out there with real business owners and their real lives and their real businesses. So we're interested to hear that from you. So to get us started, if you wouldn't mind, just maybe give us a quick introduction introduce us to your company and the problems that you solve.
Okay. So my name's Tyler Lynch. I have a company called The Only Timeline. It's total for short. So TOTL, The Only Timeline. That's the acronym. So essentially it started in 2016. Pretty much just started a production company from the ground roots, pretty much just grassroots. Just started doing work for brands, video, photo, graphic design, all those things, but encompassed into one brand that helps other brands that need that for their companies. So I've been doing that till now. I mean, it's 2025. The business is still going. I'm very proud of it. And it's honestly a dream job. I mean, it's what I love to do. So I, honestly, regardless, I would still be doing photo and video, even if there was no company. But
Mhm.
I just like to have inclusiveness and just have, a team that can work together and actually like execute projects because that's what it's all about, at the end of the day is just coming together and getting things just done. And it's amazing. I'm very blessed and just happy how everything's turned out, especially up to this point, because a lot of new clients that I've never ever like would thought I would talk to or even get in touch with have reached out to us to work, and now it's like, okay, it's at a global level.
All
So
right.
I'm feeling
I
that.
like it. Awesome. So if you don't mind saying, what countries do you say global?
Well, as of now, I'm in Dallas, Texas,
Yeah.
so based out of there. And honestly, right now, I mean, I have people spread out across. We have one guy, he's in Chile. There's
Okay.
another guy who's in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Two of my team members are also in Dallas, Texas as well. We have another girl who's also out in like I think North Korea or South Korea, the good one.
Yeah.
And
South Korea. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Wow.
it's just all over influencers, wherever they're at. I have
Nice.
people in Florida that I've worked with,
Yeah.
people in Maryland where I'm originally from,
Nice.
and it's pretty much just from wherever I've went and just met people and worked with. I've still have their contact information, and it's all love from here on out.
There we go. Good. Good stuff. Lots of capable people out there. They're not all in Dallas, Texas. So
Hmm.
gotta access them wherever they are.
It's like
Uh,
Pokemon. You gotta catch them all and just work with everybody.
and go.
Go, go, go. Exactly.
Pokemon Go. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Uh, good stuff. So tell us, how and why did you start Total?
How and why I started Total. Well, to let's just take it back. I think it's 2015. I just finished college. So I have a degree in mass communications, video, and audio production. So straight after that, I kind of just jumped onto social media. Vine was the app at the time. So I decided to just started doing that, my own little skits, my own little like works, and just practicing, just fresh out of school. I learned the stuff and I'm like, maybe this could be a career someday. And essentially just repetition, repetition, repetition. I grew a following off of Vine and then essentially decided, maybe me being a solo artist, it's not going to be the best longevity wise. I think having a production team or a company would be even better. Of course, people are like, whoa, 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 what are you going to do? And I'm just like, well, I think I'm going to call it the only timeline. And from there on out, it's just been a journey. I've just been executing, making sure everything gets handled the right way. And now it's just standing deep with just a bunch of different creators, people, opportunities, and just I'm glad I went through with what I did because honestly, I'd probably be still stuck at like a 9 to 5. I used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was a server, and
Hmm.
then watching the commercials up there every day, I'm like, I could do that. Like, how much do commercials run for? Why am I here getting tips? This makes no sense.
Yeah.
So and of course, people around me were like, you have a lot of talent. Like, why don't you just keep going? So after my first, like, payday, I did a video for Dunkin' Donuts, a commercial.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
nothing big, but
Dunkin'
the
Donuts,
price.
they do coffee.
Yep, they do the coffee
The
brand,
Dunkin' Donuts, yes.
the Dunkin' Donuts. And yeah, pretty much won the competition, got paid out around 5 grand for it. And like, back then, like my family was like, whoa,
Uh-huh.
what's this coming in the mail? I'm like, a check. Ta-da. They're like, oh,
Literal
okay.
mailbox money, except maybe not quite as passive. Yeah.
Exactly. So then,
Yeah.
honestly, I just did the smart thing. I invested in myself. I just took that money and put it into another camera, put it into another computer, more software so I can edit faster. And I told people around me, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have actual, like, this. I'm investing the money into this just to, further this long. And we can do projects together. We can get another camera if we win more money. So essentially, came to that, just kept rocking with it. And, it's just been a good journey. I'm very proud of
Yeah.
what's been created because, even yourself, you're just discovering me. And I'm just now even seeing for myself, like, hey, like, it's just it's different for everybody. I think people know us, but then once again, some people haven't even heard of us. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, how do we get it out there? And I guess in just even taking the leap of faith on this podcast right now, like even talking about it, like
Yeah.
I've never done this before.
There you
So
go. Well,
you took
we're glad to pop your cherry. So, um, yeah, and I'm glad you don't know we've been stalking you for 3 years. No, I'm just kidding. We haven't been, but
oh,
we did just discover you. So, so yeah, getting
mhm.
more of these types of things out there is probably good. So more people can discover you that much faster.
Yeah,
It,
exactly.
yeah, I find it interesting. You kind of mentioned, so basically you came out of school and you're like, hey, well, what am I going to do? And so rather than maybe work some 9 to 5s, which is what you started out doing, you start seeing commercials on the screens and like, hey, I could do that. So you start getting into it. You start doing well, winning some prizes and things like that. And so you just kept investing and growing. Yeah.
That's it.
All
That's it,
right.
man.
And it's so I was going to say, it sounds interesting. You talked about the people around you sort of encouraging you, hey, you're capable and you should keep going. I think a lot of times some of the current business owners maybe got some concerns from their crowds, just because
Mhm.
generally a riskier proposition to go start a business. And so, but I think that's great that you had sort of the
Mhm.
positive, at least from what you can remember, right? The positive influence from your circles. So good for you.
I would say this. I think it's more the passion. Like
Mm-hmm.
I exude like, oh, I want to do this. I want to create this. We're gonna do this commercial for Oreos just because I like Oreos. Why? I don't know. Because somebody at Oreos might see it and give us some more money to do another commercial for Nabisco. I don't know. Let's just do it. And
Yeah.
people gravitate towards that. And if you lead and orchestrate that in the right way, you can accomplish anything. I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah. Yes, people, I do agree with you. People, they like passion and they follow passion.
mm,
So, which is what sounds like you're exuding. Um, so been what 9, 10 years since 2015, I believe you said. And so thus far, been through seen a lot of things. What's been the hardest thing you've been through, and how did you overcome
man, losing people along the way, I would say.
it? Okay.
It's good to, grow with people and learn and also like, just vibe and become friends. But eventually, as time goes, people go their separate ways, and it's okay. Like you got to learn to be okay with that. And at first, yeah, I was like, well, I'm losing friends here, and I got to leave my family to go somewhere. such as LA, to follow my true dream, my passions. So you have to leave people behind, but also realize, like, they're always going to be there for you. You can always call them back. They're not dead. So, but it's hard
They're
at
dead to
first.
you. No, I'm just
Yeah, I mean, some
I'm
of
kidding.
them,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but other than that, but same time, it's that just letting people go and letting them find their own, like, on their own journey. Like, I'm not here to keep people in the company and just be like, well, you're part of Total forever, and this is the you're stuck. No, I want you to come up with your ideas and we
Mm,
use those and help you grow into your own thing. Like, it's not about that. Like,
yep.
and over time I've experienced it. I've had people come along, they rock with it for a while, then eventually they go on to something else. And I'm like, that's okay. It's just like the work I do, like the videos. I don't get too attached to my work either. Because
Hmm.
once again, it is a client's project. So you have to deliver it some way and let it go. And it's easy. It's You're at peace once it's gone, once they're gone, or whatever work is out there, because it's out there.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing about it. So yeah, I
Yep.
would say that it's just letting people go and then just growing from that, just being a bigger person and just like knowing that, hey, everything's going to be okay. If you still have that drive and passion and just love doing what you're doing, the people are going to come, the money's going to come, everything, the opportunities are going to come. You just have to put in the work.
Hmm. Yeah, I really like that. I think one of the bigger misconceptions that people have about businesses is that the team sticks like it's the same team, which was
Hmm.
generally not the case. Over the course of years, team
Yeah.
members swap in and out, right? They come and they go. And if you, I don't know if you've ever read the book Multipliers, but they talk about it's a kind of a management book, but they talk about managers that are multipliers to get more out of their people, and there's managers that they call diminishers. Anyway, one of the things they talk about the multiplier managers do is they have flow in their organization. So people are
Hmm.
coming and going. They come in maybe with less skill, you build them up. They have more skill, and sometimes they get hired away or they go on to the next bigger and better thing. But that's good. And like you said, just being okay with
Yep.
it, I think is big because a lot of people, I think, could be they're hurt by it, they get their feelings hurt, or
That's
they
right.
get stuck and now they don't hire somebody else. All these different kinds of things. So I like that you've basically learned that yourself, and obviously, you can
I
have
mean,
people.
look at the
Yep.
Lakers. I mean, we had a great team. I mean, not the Lakers, the Mavericks. Look at the
Mavs,
Mavericks.
yeah,
Like, great,
yeah.
great team. But guess what? Take Luka away. Take this person away. Now Kyrie's all by himself. I feel bad for him. And it's just like, well, what you gonna do now? Like, you got to keep playing. Like,
Yep, yep,
so it's
yep.
okay. Teams change up, and that's great. Teams change names. Look at the Redskins. Now they're Commanders.
Yep,
Don't matter. As long as you're still doing the work, it doesn't matter.
yep. I like it. So another question for you. What have been, again, so far in your years of business, what have been your biggest learnings as an employer? And I know we kind of maybe just talked a little bit about that, but just what's been the biggest learning as an employer since you've been in business?
I would say honestly, just having trust. Trust is a big thing, it's trusting somebody with the ability to do what you want them to do and actually like make sure they deliver. And if it's not at top tier as you wanted it to be, also speaking up on that and being like, hey, we could fix this, not bashing them like, oh, this sucks. Like, can't do that.
Hmm.
Like, how can we fix this? How can we make it better? Because it's not having a rhythm. I don't feel the heartbeat behind it. I don't feel anything when I watch it. I want people to feel when they watch our work from our company. It's not just some simple post. It needs to give you that goosebump effect when you listen to it and you actually see, like, oh, an actual human put this together. This isn't no
Hmm.
AI. There's actually heart and soul into these projects. So as having people getting employed, I like to teach that and show them, like, hey, like, watch this video. Now watch your video. How'd you feel after that video? Oh, I feel amazing. I'm inspired. It took me to another world. Now, what about your video? It's not the same. All right. So how do we fix that? What can we do better? Or we can restart from the beginning and do something even better than before. Like, that's the biggest thing for me, and just trusting, making sure they have that trust in me too. Like, hey, he's not going to steer me wrong. If it
Hmm.
sucks, okay, he's been down the block. Like, okay. And it sucks telling people that. I
Hmm.
trust me. But at the same time, I feel so much better actually being truthful and upfront. If it's not going to be dope and we're putting it out online, what's the point of like even doing it in the first place? What's the message you're trying to bring across and why are you doing this? That's my main thing too, is finding people within the company or employing people of why they're doing something. Like, why do
Hmm.
you even want to be a part of the brand? Oh, because you guys are dope. Okay, I know that already. But what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Oh, I can shoot photos. Cool. What type of photos? Are you do you do some type of color painting with your photos? Something I've never seen before. Because I can take photos too.
Yeah.
I can do video. We have that already on the team.
Yeah.
So what can you do that's different? And I think that's the biggest thing is just finding and trusting those people with those abilities that can just execute and also take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Like it has to be constructive criticism.
Yeah. Trust is big. We know. See, you're like pointing out a lot of these keys we talk about for delegation, for example. And
Mm,
so you know, how many business owners out there are like, oh yeah, I delegated it, but then I took it back. Right. So trust is huge. And then what I would call what you said is feedback. You have to give people
hmm
feedback. And like you said, constructive
hmm
feedback.
Constructive.
And you know, feedback, we always tell people when someone gives you feedback, what do you say? You just say thank you because it's not positive or negative. It's just information.
hmm
And so, like you said, if people can recognize that it's just information and they can do something with it, then awesome. You guys can come up with that thing that's truly dope, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, good.
It's supposed to be fun at the end of the day. Like, let's not try to sugarcoat it. Like, let's actually like make it fun. Like, I'm not trying to bash people and be like, oh, get this edit done in 5 minutes, and then we got to send it out to HBO. Like, no, like, yo, get it done when you feel like you need to get it done. But also, I am going to review it with a fine tooth comb because it is going to HBO.
Yeah,
So make sure. Okay, cool. We're on that understanding. Everything's great.
nice. Another question for you. What would you do different? So it's been 10 years. What would you do differently if you started it over today?
Not second guess myself.
Tell me more.
I I spent a lot of time second guessing uh, other people's opinions. Have gotten into my head, and I've went the wrong direction. And I look at it, and I'm like, if I stayed on that same trajectory I had with Vine, just kept pushing, posting, and said like, oh well, let's hang out. What? Come on, what are we hanging out for? Like, seriously. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, what what is the main like objective here that we're trying to get to? Who are we trying to like get involved and also like what are we doing this project for? And a lot of people just don't have that. Like, and it's opinions. Like a lot of people have their different opinions and they want to give their 2 cents, or they don't like somebody on the team, or they got something going on. And it's like, whoa, 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 like, come on. Like, I shouldn't even be dealing with this. I don't like being a therapist. I'm no one's therapist. I've been in situations where I've been the therapist. And I'm like, I should be editing something or creating something. Why is this? Well, you gotta handle those relationships within business because this
Mhm.
is a type of family you are bringing together. But same time, it's exhausting, man. It's just like, wow, geez, like it's definitely second guessing myself. Like even now, I'm just like at a point where I'm just like, I'm all in with total. Like I want to see this thing go. I've cut off people who have been holding me back,
Mhm.
and I feel much better because of it, because it's just like, I can go further and farther with people who actually care or actually really want to see this thing succeed. And I just think that's the biggest thing that I've learned is definitely just not second guessing myself anymore and just being like, yeah, this is dope. I'm gonna put this out right now. And then obviously seeing the feedback, yeah, it is. It's like,
Mhm.
no, why would I think
Mhm.
why it's not?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So
So it sounds like maybe there were people on the team that assisted in your second guessing, and so you're saying, hey, look, if that's happening, maybe those people shouldn't be on your team.
It's just like not even that, but just like the vision. Like, all
Mm,
right, I want to be a global brand. Let's change the logo up a little bit so we can promote globally, you know?
hmm
I don't know. We're still kind of not there yet. What are you talking about? We just went around the whole US shooting everything. We got to go outside of the US. This makes no sense.
Yeah,
It's because the vision isn't as big as yours because it's not theirs.
yeah. So maybe people that are limiting your vision.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it
nice.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
So once you have people that are not limiting your vision, then great, your vision can be big and maybe bigger or grow,
Mm-hmm.
and then the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So even now, I feel so much at peace. Like this last year has been a lot of letting go, recovery, and just understanding how the business really works. Like
hmm
everything from the back end stuff to the front end where it's fun. Everybody
hmm
loves to do the front end stuff, but nobody's really into the SEO and the editing and the actual talking to clients and getting on the phone and making
hmm
sure the taxes are done, the bank accounts are set up, the LLC is in good standings. All these things they don't teach you in school either. You have to learn it on your own. And I had to. Like, I learned how to do creativity. And now I think the last 3 years, I've just been focused mainly on business. Like, how do I act during a business meeting? Who do I want to work with? And
Yeah.
being and having discernment. That's the biggest one. It's just discernment now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's like you said, you don't get those are not things you get taught. And if
Mm-mm.
you're gonna run a business, guess what? You need to learn them some way, shape, or form. Of course, you can go out and just keep screwing things up, or you could try to put some purposeful effort into learning it. And great, now it's not going to be a limiting factor for your business. It might be fantastic
Mm-mm.
at the creative side, but guess what? If you can't support the business to if the business can't support the
It's
creativeness, then
just,
you've got a limiting factor either way. So
mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's a balance. You
um,
got to balance. You got to learn to balance.
yeah,
Business is all about balance, just like
mhm,
with life too. Everything. You got to have a good balance, man. That's it.
yep. Lots of factors that can hold you back, and a lot of factors that can move you forward.
Hmm.
Um, So are you where you expected to be at this stage? So 10 years in, are you where you thought you'd be? Is it where you expected you'd be, or not so much?
Mm, I say well, one, I did not expect to end up in Dallas, Texas, to tell you the truth.
All
Did
right.
not. But you find the love of your life and you settle down and you put roots down. It's cool. It's good. I got a home base. But as for the company, definitely like not where I would expect like years ago. No, not at all. Working with people, all these adventures, opportunities I've had. I would never. I mean, I've had visions when I go to sleep, like dreams and stuff, like, oh, I've met this celebrity, and I do wind up meeting them and doing a shoot or something. And it's just amazing to see it now because, like, my younger self, I already say this every day. I'm like, my younger self is so proud of me right now. Like, if I
Hmm.
could pull my 12-year-old self out and be like, this is it, this is the 32 you. He does this. He lives in here, does this. What? I thought we would never make it out of Maryland. No, you're here.
Nice.
And you have a beautiful life and your company is thriving and you're making it work the best way you can. And I'm perfectly happy about that. Like, and yeah,
Nice.
that's
Good.
that's it. Definitely big surprise now that question honestly made me think about that. It's just like, yeah, I wouldn't see myself here definitely 10 years ago. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
So you wouldn't have seen yourself here 10 years ago. Well, what's next? Where do you see yourself in another 10 years?
stores around the globe. Not necessarily around the globe, but start somewhere. I want to have a storefront or studio or something within one with starting in Texas, of course, and then going back home to Maryland to set up a shop there, and then going to LA and having a shop there, the trifecta play. And then from there, those go out to other parts of the country, which would be Japan. I haven't been to Japan yet, but I want to go because I've been told I need to go because I have a personality that just works out there. So I do
So,
want to go there and have like one of my people on the team wants to actually have a studio out there. I'm like, well, over time, we'll see. Europe, I like Europe. That was fun. I've been to the Cannes Film Festival. That was a fun experience to get to
mm,
like see all that and just be a part of it and understand. Like, and even then, I was like, I'm gonna be back here someday. I'm gonna be
mhm.
back. I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna be on the red carpet. I was shooting people on the red carpet, but I'm like, I need to be on there and
Nice.
just seeing James Cameron, all these celebrities, I'm like, wow, like they've done it. How do I get there? So I definitely see myself just doing something completely not heard of, but like at the same time, just man, he really took it and made actually a business place with somewhere, and he has people running those businesses. And where's he at? Oh, he's flying to take care of whatever he needs to take care of.
Yeah.
That's where I see it. And also, more merch, more commercials. I want to do more commercials, such as like, off brand stuff for the brand. I do a lot of branding for other individuals, such
Mhm.
as, that's the money. That's good. You got to do some work. But at the same time, I do want to get back into the passion projects that show the characteristics and the personality of the brand. So people can be like, oh, well, they actually are a fun group too.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
and they got some cool stuff on. Boom.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that. How do I do it? And it's just bringing that in now. It's just continuing with what I'm doing. And, God has been a big factor for all of this for me. He's taken me from the gutter up to where I am now in a high rise, which I'm happy about. But at the same time, I don't forget the struggles, and it's made me the man I am today to actually just always be unapologetic. I wrote this down today, be unapologetically myself. No more, no more, second guessing. Just be yourself. I posted something today for the first time in a month
Mm.
on the total page, but it
I
only
like
took
it.
me an hour. Yeah, it only took me an hour to make the video, but the video's been sitting on my hard drive for like for like a month. And I was
So
just like, oh, I should cut this together. And I was feeling a beat, and I was just like, yeah, this needs to go on there. Just knocked it out like an hour before this meeting, and I posted it. Now everybody's freaking out
nice.
in a good way. They're like, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
In
I'm
a good
like,
way.
man,
Yes.
in a good
Breaking out
way.
positively. Yes.
Breaking out positively. And but I'm like, okay, there's that momentum again. Because you can have those momentum lulls when you don't
Yeah.
post or put something up and you think you're doing good, but you're not. You
Yeah.
like, but once you do it again, okay, it's going back up again. It's going back up. All right, let's ride the wave. Let's keep it going. So I'm in that
Mhm.
phase right now again. It's just staying creative and busy.
That's
That's it.
good. Good stuff. Well, in 10 more years, well, maybe sooner, we'll do another interview with you and we'll have, you can tell us what locations you ended up adding to
No,
your
you're gonna be
business.
you're gonna be at the location, and we're gonna do
Yeah.
the podcast there, face
There you
to
go.
face. It's gonna be just face to face, 10 years later, and we'll play this in the
So,
background.
so I've been to Japan. Good spot. I went there a couple of years ago, actually. I was coaching some of the action coaches that are there in Japan because we have coaches all over the world. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, good spot. I hadn't been there before until I went the last couple of years. But I would recommend it.
Ah,
Anyways, if you have an office in Tokyo, but in Japan, yes, we'll meet there because what
that'd be
better spot?
great.
Yeah,
That'd be great. I see it.
cool.
I see it happening.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks a bunch. I think people got some pretty good insights from you and definitely learnings from your experience. And that's again, we want to hear the real stuff with the real people, the real business owners out there. So thanks again, Tyler, and hope you have a good rest of the week. And thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and just looking forward for any more. And just keep it going. Thank you very much, Sean.
You're welcome. Have a good one.